Well, hello guys. How's it going? We're going to be doing a tutorial today. I'm going to be making a Nomad ship for you guys, and you can kind of see how I do things with recent designs and show you how to do the spaced armor and whatnot. So let's get into it. So first I'm just going to start out making the basic shape of how I want this ship to be. I like to do my insides made out of hull, and then later on I'll come by and I'll show you that I put thin layers of blank hull. So then when I do that, I can hide all the hull, and then I can just convert all the hull insides later on. I'll show you more of that later. I was able to copy that quick with the Control-C, Control-V. Hotkeys are really helpful when you're copy pasting or any other kind of deal. I want to try to make this ship a 5-slot. So drag it out a little more. Actually, got a better idea for that. Then I think I'll go ahead and make these swept back. Take that out, and that out, and that out, and that out. I think we'll go ahead and take a chunk out here, chunk right here, and then angle that down. Like so. Alright, now we have a basic shape of the ship that I want want to make. And we'll go ahead and cover it up with our blank hull. That's one thing. Always pay attention to your axes. Sometimes they'll really mess you up. Good thing that this time it didn't. I've had a lot of moments where I'll put the axis on and then I'll forget to take it off like I did there. Or in a worst case scenario, I'll be wanting a symmetrical design and I forget to turn the axis on. Then I have to go back and put all that in on the other side. Definitely a pain in the rear. Alright, we're getting there. Yeah, I guess I could have put the axis on there. That's okay. We're doing a small ship right now, so it'll be a lot easier on us. Alright, now we have it covered. Alright, so now we'll go ahead and do our engine placement. Go into saves here. Nope. And I'll show you guys in another video. I already have one about making engines, but I'll probably do another tutorial, flush out a little more, get more designs in there. Now let's see, let's do yeah, why not? Let's make it a little big. A couple small engines in there. Okay. Now, for spaced armor, the way that I do it is you always want to make sure that the plates on the blocks that you've set down are the exact same width, or at least a multiple of the width of these plates, or else they will not line up correctly. So since they are 1 meter thick, we'll go to 1. Let's make sure we got our axes on, of course. And I'll just go ahead and place around most of the end points. Okay. And then we'll make sure that our armor is the same size as the plates covering your ship. And then we'll go ahead and place one on top of each of those points. And now we can start putting the rest of the armor in. Then we will come by with a smaller edge here, and we'll make sure that it is the same diagonal as our edge block here, or else it will kind of mess it up unless you want to do some fancy footwork with it. Then it'll also take a lot more measurements, and it'll connect perfectly together. As long as these are the same width, they will always connect perfectly together. Otherwise, you may have to use smaller measurements and extend out either the tops or the side armor plating. And if you want to do more than one layer of armor, it's basically the exact same thing. Just a few more edge blocks here and there. Now here's the tricky part. We want to smooth this out. So what we're going to do is we're going to come by like this. We're going to go 1, 1, and just keep doing that until you reach your end point. Just like that. And then to smooth that out, we'll take a 3, go like that, and then we'll use our twisted corners. Thank you to the devs for adding this glorious block. Just like that. And now it's smoothed out. We got a nice looking spaced diagonal edge. So let's go ahead and put some turret bases down. So this ship is going to be a flak barge, so I'm going to have a lot of flak turrets on it. We're going to go with a size 1. And then we will bring it down to 2.5 meters. We'll do 1 here, 1 there, and 1 there. And then we'll go ahead and put some armor around those. Alright, copy paste that, put it in the spots we have laid out. And then we should have 12 flak turrets in total on this ship. Shift T for turret mode. I have a lot of folders. I need to go through and micromanage that stuff a little. Load our flak turrets on there. You know, I think I'm going to replace that buzzing sound in my sound mod because it's a little bit annoying. Alright. Oh, 2 more. Alright, let's put some... Oh, I do not have any. Turrets, let's get some anti-fighter cannons. Upgrades. Where are you? Military. And we will install this one. Let's see. We'll go with this one. Boom, boom, boom. Awesome. All right. Okay, let's get the rest of our armor on here. Another thing I really like to do, just to kind of keep the engines a little protected, is we'll bring it out like so. Maybe not that much right there. Alright. Go over here and copy paste our edge armor. It's a little tricky doing all these little blocks right here. And we will connect those. Alright. Let's go ahead and put that in that area. See if we can copy paste that, make it a little easier. Oop, not the whole thing. There we go. Awesome. Alright, now that we've got our armor pretty much finished, we can go ahead and start doing some details and whatnot. So I'll go ahead and take this edge block that was here out, and we will make an interesting little vent here. We'll use an edge armor, dark gray, or dim gray, excuse me, and then go down to 1/2 meter, and we will place these apart from each other. Got a nice little vent. Could also make it darker if you wanted to. Make the grates darker. And then maybe these ones will stay dim gray. Alright, now let's put some color on this thing. Make it look snazzy. It's always a bit of a trouble trying to find how we want to color this exactly. Oh, I did forget some armor down here. There we go. So the colors of the Nomads is saddle brown. So we're going to go ahead and put some stripes in here. Down and then separate. That looks good. And then maybe we'll do some here as well. It's always a pain in the rear doing it on small blocks. Bring that down. This one's actually turning out pretty darn nice, I'd say. Now we gotta do the bridge. A little bit tricky with the way that I designed this one. I think we will put it... Thinking about putting it here or here. I'd have to take that armor out though. I think we'll put it up here. So let's go ahead and get some edge armor. We'll go with dim gray. Since this one's going to be a little tricky, we're going to go... I usually make my bridge windows about 2.5 meters tall. off. This middle section out. And then we will go 0.125, half of 0.25. Might have to go smaller. 0.25, let's see. Okay, let's see. So 125, so 6. Oh, wait a second, actually, I got a better idea. See if we can get it, instead of having a larger look on it, let's do let's do 2-meter tall windows. Let's see if we can't get those in there. And then we'll do this. And then we'll just extend that out. Awesome. Actually looks pretty darn nice. Now we'll give it some color. Alright. So now that the ship is almost finished, we can start doing the windows, the insides, and the rest of the detail. So let's go ahead and start with the insides, and I'll show you how I like to do this. So see, with the way that I had the blank hull on top and then the armor on the outside, with that blank hull covering the inside in those thinner layers, you can now have more of your ship usable and convertible. That way you can make the most of what's inside. So usually when I make ships, I balance them out with how I want the other factions to be, but other factions that I make will have different values. Like some will have faster ships than others, more agile and whatnot. The Nomads are just kind of bricky, tank 'em. Yeah. So they're pretty simple to work with. So we'll go to Peach Puff, Solar Peach Puff, which is the inside, and we will start converting. Usually like to use lighter materials for thrusters. That way you can reduce the weight on your ship by quite a bit, and the inside thrusters usually you won't see those, but putting them on the inside is a lot better than having them on the outside. That way they don't get shot up. Let's do the engine here. So we'll do all 3 there. Let's get our Y-axis on. 47 meters a second. Maybe a little less than that. Don't want it super quick. And then we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's get our thrusters in. And I usually use regular thrusters just because they have overall improvements around. Directional thrusters, sometimes when I don't have enough thrust on one of my values, but not all the time. Usually I like to do it when you have them at a certain facing. So if you have a larger area on this side, it'll give you more yaw. If you have a larger area top bottom, it'll give you more pitch for regular thrusters, just because of the surface area. So we'll put some there and there, and then we'll do a up and down in the middle here. Alright, not bad so far. Let's give it just a little more maneuverability since it is an anti-fighter vessel. There we go. And we'll go in with some crew quarters. Generally put my crew quarters on the outside. That way we can keep the insides protected by more blocks. Alright, 150 crew. Perfect. Put some hyperspace in there. And then we'll do our generator. We'll put that right here. I just realized something. Yep, I have more than the materials I want on the ship. Mostly because of the engine design was actually end-tier materials, but that is an easy fix. Okay, let's see, 5.84 gigawatts. Let's give it some more because we're going to add our inertial dampeners for braking thrust. There we go. I'll add a little bit of shield in there. Now we'll put our dampeners on. Alright. Let's see, what else do we need to put in here? Let's put a flight recorder. Never want to get our ships lost when they get destroyed. Always a pain trying to find them. Alright. And see, there's still a lot of room left over for improvement. I also like to make it that way so when I do release these ships that you guys can customize them on the inside. So if you didn't know about this and you sub to my ships on the workshop, you can just go ahead and go over to hull, hide it. Now we have that all shown up and you can customize it to how you want it. You can add more shield and whatnot or whatever your ship needs. Add crew. And now, since we've got all of that finished, we can go ahead and merge our blocks. Awesome block count too. It's one of the nice things about edge blocks now, since one of the not too recent updates, but now that they can merge, it makes this a lot easier to work with. Alright, definitely a quick ship. Good maneuverability. And the way that I had my thrusters set up is in lines like so. That way we could get better parameters for our thrust. I actually still have quite a bit of acceleration too. Alright. Let's go ahead and put the last of the details on. So, now that we have it merged, let's go ahead and put some windows on here. So, I used to use thin hologram block windows, and it would just jump up the block count by at least 500 to 5,000 on larger ships. But now that I have custom textures, we can go ahead and make this a little easier. It doesn't really come out good right there, but I will be redoing the iron textures soon enough. We'll do the middle. Okay, and now we will go ahead and take some pieces off of our other ships. And then we'll add some nice little thruster details on the outside. This will give it more of a realistic feel with the thrusters. One's for braking. Right here and alright. Oh, and another thing. So when you're placing blocks, if you're copy pasting and you don't have the exact block that you want connecting to a piece, like say you have it set to one of the edges instead of the middle block that you want, all you need to do is hold Alt and you can choose whichever block you want to be the rooted block of your copy pasted object. It's a little harder to see in when it's red, but it highlights up. And that'll allow you to place your copy-pasted pieces a lot better than other ones. Well, I really hope you guys enjoy this video. The ship was pretty quick to work on, to be honest. Came out pretty good. Definitely need to redo those iron window textures. They're also a little too big too. Alright, well, I will see you guys in another video. I'll do more tutorials eventually on other things and more advanced techniques and whatnot. Maybe cover some circular objects as well. But I really hope that this helped you guys out a lot. And if you like spaced armor, you got spaced armor. Have a good one. See you guys in the next video.